Yeah, James, I know you're going to ask first one. Come on.
Lincoln, how good was it? How good was it to get the two running backs back, and what did that mean to the offense, opening everything up with the ability to run the ball like you did?
Well, it helped. You know, it helped to be able to get Dimitri back there in his role. You know, that was one thing that was not talked a lot about last week. Was not only did you lose those guys, but you know, you lose a really good player at his H-back role too. So the domino effect, you know, makes an impact, and so. You know, it was good. They, you know, I thought Joe and Samaje played well. I thought both of them had to get settled in a little bit early. We felt like we were really close all day to popping some. You know, it seemed like there were several, you know, shoestring tackles out there, and we were able to pop a couple there at the end, obviously, that were important. But it allowed us to play a little bit more the way that we want to play.
Samaje had 23 carries. Was that something you were looking at? Do you have a target number? And how close to 100% was he? Was he 100%?
He's physically good. It's just when you missed again. I think it ended up. I think Scott and everybody said it ended up being really 4 weeks when you count the days. I mean, basically an entire month. Again, you've got to get back just into the rhythm of it. Physically, he's good. He was fresh. He was explosive. I thought some of the timing came back the more carries that he got, and that's kind of always been his MO. You know, he's always been a guy that, as the game goes on, he gets stronger and stronger, and he did that today.
You made him in the Wildcat more than Joe. How did you feel? You got first downs out of it, so you got out of that what you hoped?
And we did, and part of it just happened that way, you know. No, it just, you know, sometimes on the rotation it hits one way or the other. We've got, you know, two good backs right there that we feel like in short yardage, you know, that can win. And, you know, those guys up front, all that, we did a good job picking up those key first downs.
Lincoln, your offense was good first half, not necessarily great by your standards. How much does it help that you don't have to be great? Sometimes you just throw it up and let D.D. Westbrook do something wild with it.
Yeah, we were good the first few drives. We did kind of fall off there a little bit in the second quarter. I thought, again, my patience a little bit wore thin, but, you know, I've got to keep working on that. But, yeah, I mean, you've got guys that you feel like can make competitive plays. I mean, that's why we go recruit. That's why we push these things. They're not always going to happen exactly like you hope they will, and you got to trust it enough, and Baker's got some, you know, obviously a ton of trust in Dede, and he continues to make them. He's going to keep getting them.
Lincoln, the way this offense has been playing lately, as well as it's been playing, does that factor into what you wanted to do the first play of the game with the reverse flea flicker?
No, we just I would say no. I guess I'll say yes. You have confidence that if it doesn't work, that we can still get it going. I think we still scored that first drive. And so, you know, you can't be afraid to take chances like that. We've got guys that we as a staff trust as far as decision-making when you get to that point. Sometimes they're beautiful and they work perfectly, and that's great. Everybody wants them to happen like that every time, and then says, why don't you call more of them? And then sometimes they don't. And when they don't, the key is it can't be a turnover. You know, it can't be a catastrophic play. We took a few-yard loss, worth the risk, and we're able to bounce back. So, yeah, just confident in our guys to make decisions, and confident that if it doesn't work out, we'll find a way to get the first down anyway.
How much does it help you down the road with your receivers making some really impressive catch, multiple receivers?
That's right.
Today?
They did. Yeah, Jeff made a great play. I didn't actually, during the game, realize how great of a play he made on the crossing route early. Obviously, Mark had some really big contested catches. Gino, you know, they're late. Yeah, it's important. I mean, it was a game today where they let them play. You know, it was a physical game. There was, you know, a lot of them were going to be competitive plays, and that's a little bit what we have. I mean, Dede can run and separate, but those other guys, when you have bigger guys, they've got to play big. They may not always separate as much, but they can make more of the competitive plays. And so, you know, it was huge today.
Baker took off on that third down, took off up the middle and slid. Did you get any indication at all as you're waiting, that they were going to review that they were going to look at the spot, that maybe it would be a good time for a timeout?
No, it was really my fault. The guy told me there's a new rule that which when the quarterback starts to slide, as soon as his rear end starts to drop, they blow it dead right there, which is another story. I mean, but that's what they said, and obviously I got to know the rules, and that's not something I've coached Baker on. I wasn't aware of it, so
it's not where the ball is or where he goes down.
The second I was explaining, the second his rear end drops, then they blow the whistle right there, which makes absolutely zero sense in the game of football, but that's the rule, and I've got to know it.
Hey, Lincoln, Baker Mayfield through the first 3 games as opposed to where he's at now in the final 3 games.
Right.
Where have his biggest strides been?
I think just overall trust in all of our skill guys. I think getting settled in with what our other skill guys, these receivers, do well, and how different we are from where we were last year. And then I think too, just not trying to do everything himself. He's played more within the system. He's trusted it. Has really settled in well here the second half of the season.
I'm just going to say his efficiency levels, Lincoln, have been for 2 months unprecedented around here. Are you hopeful that he can get a trip to New York at the end of the season?
If he gets a trip to New York, that means we probably won a bunch of games here at the end. So I would rather have the wins, and he would too. The individual things are nice, and we've been fortunate here in the 2 years we've been here to have a bunch of them. But it's all about team here. It's all about winning, and as long as we're winning, then all that stuff will take care of itself.
When you see what happened with Seth Russell, and you know how important Baker Mayfield is to this program, I mean, does it make you think for a split second about play calls or game plans or any of that?
No, you can't play coach all that scared. You want to be smart. You don't want to be reckless, of course, but this is a game that if you don't play it on the edge, you don't have a chance anyway. You've got to play it on the edge. Hate what happened to Seth. I mean, he's a great kid, a great competitor. You don't like to see that, for anybody. But at the same time, if you're not willing to lay it on the line, it's hard to play well anyway.
There's so many great things that he does, but he's tough. I mean, he took some hits today, especially after buying time and things. And he knew he was going to get hit, but still made a good throw.
That's right.
We didn't really ever ask you about that, but he's a tough cookie.
I'm not going to say that, but he is. He is tough. We kid him about it a lot. Our guys don't ever get hit. And all our guys are banging into each other all spring, all fall, and so you're going to take a few. And I think as a quarterback, it's important how tough you are, how you respond to when you get hit. I think your team feeds off that. I think it really adds to the toughness of the team when you've got a guy that'll do that. And you know what? We play other good players. You're going to get hit sometimes. You've got to still be able to make the plays. And toughness is a huge quality for a quarterback, and he does have that, yes.
It seems like in a conventional sense, you guys may not have an identity, but maybe it's just that you come out, you can do any number of things, and you respond in real time. What would you say your identity is?
Well, we run it and throw it pretty good.
Do you come out with a game plan saying, here's what I want to do, or you just come out ready to respond?
It's a little bit of both. Baylor played us differently today than they've played everybody all year. There was a lot of adjustments, a lot of things that we didn't see on film that were, a little unexpected. But that's part of it. You've got to be able to adjust. Of course, we have a plan going in. We have ways that we want to attack people, but that doesn't always hold water. And if you can't adjust, defensive coordinators are too good this day. If you can't adjust, you don't have a prayer. And so hopefully we found a nice mix of game planning well, but being able to adjust on the fly too.
Lincoln is getting ready to go on the road, face a team that's also playing as well as anybody in the conference. How much do your players embrace that?
Oh, we love it. Love it. Hopefully it's at night. We love it. That's it'll be a great atmosphere. I've never had a chance to be there, but I know it'll be a rowdy atmosphere. They've got a really good football team, and we'll be looking forward to going up there.
With that variety of options, how does that affect your decision making in big downs? Do you feel like there's plays that you'd like to run in those situations like every other coach, or do you feel like it's just you can run whatever you want?
Depends how good we're playing. When you're playing good, you feel like you can run whatever you want. That's always the question that you talk about, and I think on big downs, you've got to go to your best players. I think that's important. There's obviously a schematic element to it as well, where you want to put your guys in the best chance you can. And, those times it's gut feeling, it's what you've studied, and it's also the guys that you feel like can get it done too.
Do you guys like throwing as much as you can at defensive coordinators and saying, hey, game plan for every one of these things?
That happens a little bit through the season, but we're not going to do things just to make people game plan for it. We're going to do things that work, and because nobody's going to game plan for something that's not being successful. So hopefully we're doing enough things to be successful that we're giving them a little bit of trouble. All right, thanks.